What's up everyone, welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video I will be reviewing episode 171 of Naruto Next Generations, titled The Results of Training. And we did see the results of Boruto and Sarada's training in this episode, and it was very great. Overall, this is one of my favorite episodes of Boruto in this 2020 era. This is one of my favorite episodes of Boruto. So without no further ado, let's get right into it. So the episode started off with Boruto versus Shojoji. As I said in my review last week, some scenes in the fight were directly from Boruto Opening 6 version 3 with Boruto versus Shojoji. Some of the fighting sequences were the exact same, and I don't really mind that. As I said in my last review, I actually think it's pretty cool because number one, this doesn't really happen ever, and number two, it's kind of like the opening foreshadowed this fight that I didn't expect to happen in the first place. So it was just cool overall. There was a couple of sequences that was, I think, lacking, because there was a scene when Boruto, he jumped up in the air like he does in the opening. Like he jumped out of Shojoji's mouth pretty much. And then the next second he was already elbowing Shojoji in the face. It was like that was missing a little scene right there that could have added more detail to the fighting sequence and made it better. But other than that, the fight was pretty decent overall. And Boruto first tried to use his wind style Rasengan, which Shojoji countered with his own wind style barrier jutsu. And then afterwards, Boruto, he knew that the wind style Rasengan wasn't powerful enough, so he finally used his new Rasengan, which he learned in last week's episode. And this Rasengan was a more condensed Rasengan, and it was basically like a very condensed Rasengan. It was a lot smaller but more powerful because it was more condensed. So it was like you could still see like some of the chakra around the mini Rasengan. You could still like see it was like kind of looked like a little wind bubble around it, but the Rasengan was compressed. And Boruto had a name for it. I believe he called it super compressed Rasengan or super condensed Rasengan, something like that. And it was able to break through Shojoji's wind style barrier jutsu. And also, Kakashi said it would have killed Shojoji if Shojoji hadn't used his wind style barrier jutsu. So this Rasengan is clearly way more powerful than his other Rasengans, and even more powerful than the wind style Rasengan, because it was able to break through that barrier. And overall, like I said, the Shojoji versus Boruto fight was pretty decent, and yeah, that was cool. Now, the real stuff that I really enjoyed about this episode was the Sarada versus Sakura stuff. So Sarada was continuing to train with Sasuke, and she was pushing herself to the limit, and Sasuke was continuing to summon those kunai at her, and try to have her dodge the kunai. And she was getting to the point where Sasuke had to step in and throw some shuriken to knock off the kunai because they were coming close to hitting her. So she wasn't even doing as well as she did last week's episode, where she was pretty much dodging most of the kunai. In this week's episode, Sasuke had to step in and stop some of the kunai, and I think it's because she was fatigued. She was super tired, and it was mainly because how long she'd been training and stuff, and she insisted on continuing to train. Even Sasuke said, "Sarada, do you want to take a break, a short little break at least?" And Sarada refused. So and then Sakura came in, and she said she wanted to test Sarada's resolve, and she apologized to Sasuke for interrupting. At first, Sarada thought she was interrupting the training, but really she just wanted to test Sarada's resolve. And so Sakura apologized to Sasuke, but Sasuke was fine with Sakura stepping in. And Sasuke even said, "There's some things that you can see that I don't," or something along those lines. So he's once again giving credit to Sakura. He clearly has a lot of respect for her, and basically said, yeah, try things out your way, because basically I might be missing something, or you might have something good to add, basically. So then we had the Sakura versus Sarada fight, and this was honestly my favorite part of the episode. But not only that, this was one of my favorite things in recent Boruto episodes, because this was just great overall. Like, Sarada proved that she had resolve. But Sakura made a couple of comments on things that she can improve on, like her chakra control. I always thought that Sarada's chakra control was good because she's not many people can do that super powerful taijutsu that infuses your fist and your legs and your feet with chakra like Tsunade and Sakura does. Not a lot of people can use that super powerful chakra control taijutsu, and I thought Sarada was doing a great job with that throughout the whole series. But it turns out she still wasn't that good at chakra control. She had the basics down, but she wasn't that good at it still. And that's what Sakura pointed out. And she also tied that into her Sharingan training and said you have to master chakra control because the Sharingan uses up a lot of chakra, and you need a lot of chakra to use the Sharingan. Basically implying that Sarada doesn't have the amount of chakra she should have to be able to wield the Sharingan effectively. Sort of like how Itachi's deal was. Itachi, he had a stamina problem, and Sakura was sort of implying that Sarada had that same stamina problem, but if she just got mastery over her chakra control, then she'll be able to use the Sharingan a lot more effectively. And then we just had some great scenes with first Sarada coming at Sakura with a punch to start off their little sparring match. Sakura dodged it instantly. Sarada threw some kunai at her. Sakura dodged those, or shuriken rather, and Sakura dodged those. And Sakura also did a substitution jutsu when Sarada fired a fireball jutsu at her. And then Sakura literally just punched the ground, showing Sarada the chakra control, and basically what level it should be at and how it's done. So she showed Sarada how it was done, and she even like knocked down a huge tree. It looked like it was the hugest tree in the forest. She even knocked that down, showing Sarada how it's done with the chakra control. And in their last sparring match, which was really great by the way, it was just some great, nice, fluid taijutsu animation. Just some great choreography and animation overall with that stuff in their second sparring fight, because they had like 3 separate sparring fights, but in their last one, Sarada, I believe she did a fireball jutsu at first, and then she did a fireball jutsu at first, and then Sakura jumped in the air, and Sarada tried to kick her down like the Tsunade kick, the super, like the where she raised her leg up super high and tried to kick Sakura down. Sakura knocked it off, and then they started running at each other. At the end of the sparring match, they started running at each other, and Sarada copied Sakura's chakra control essentially. And I wasn't expecting her to do that, but I don't really have a problem with it. It makes sense. So Sasuke further explained that at the end of the episode, or towards the end of the episode, I should say, and Sarada basically explained that it was a spur of the moment type of thing, and but Sasuke understood that she was able to actually copy Sakura's chakra control, but he wanted her to do it again to really get the hang of it, basically. So yeah, I wasn't expecting that. When they started showing Sarada's Sharingan close up, I thought she was gonna awaken the second Tomoe, but that's not what happened. She was just copying Sakura's movements and her chakra control. So yeah, overall, great episode overall. I really loved the Sakura versus Sarada sparring match in particular. That was my favorite part of the episode. And at the end of the episode, it was we seen Miski in his little tube thing, and Orochimaru was talking to Log, and Log basically said that the Hashirama cells came from Orochimaru's lab. So like those Hashirama cells that the car was after and that they stole it from Orochimaru's lab, most likely. So, but Orochimaru said that was a long time ago, and he pretty much didn't care about it. But yeah, overall, oh yeah, and it was Miski apparently he's still in severe condition, and Orochimaru needs to do a lot of work on him still. So yeah, overall, it was a great episode. Art and animation, 10 out of 10. and the story was a 10 out of 10 as well. Overall, 10 out of 10 episode, just great stuff overall, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So with that being said, let me guys uh let me know what you guys thought of the episode in the comment section below, and also please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and click that notification bell to be notified on my other future videos. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.